What's up, guys, and welcome back to Project Z Garage. My name is Ansar, and with my brother Al, we're going to be showing you how to change the oil on this 2010 F150. This is the V8, which is the 5.4 liter 3-valve motor. Right now we're going to be working on getting it up on some ramps so you guys can better see how to get to the oil pan, and we're going to walk through the steps and show you what you need to do. So stay tuned. Alright guys, we got the truck up on the ramps. Before we get under the car and start draining the oil, let's go over what we have here and what we're going to be using. We got a 3/8 ratchet with a 16 socket. With a 16 socket. We got an oil pan to catch the oil. We're going to be using 5W30. A lot of people recommend for longevity to keep the pressure in the motor up to switch to the 530. The recommended, if you look here on the cap, says 5W20. Motorcraft is recommended by Ford, but definitely I've been using 5W30 and I've had good results. You can use Motorcraft, which is recommended. I definitely recommend using the Motorcraft oil filter. The model number on this is FL820S, and this will fit the 5.4 liter V 3-valve V8 motors. These are definitely the way to go. I definitely saw a big difference. These are supposed to have some sort of valving or a valve inside so that when you turn the car off, it keeps oil in the motor, or that's what I've been told. I definitely did see a big difference from when we first bought the truck and it had some aftermarket filter. It had kind of a rough start, but after we moved to the Motorcraft filter, it definitely sounded a lot better. So if it's true or not, I'm not sure, but I would say stick with the Motorcraft filter. And I like Mobil 1. I use it in all my cars. It's not sponsored, but hey, you never know, one day. Alright guys, so now let's get under the car and start draining the oil, and I'll show you where the oil pan is and how we would go about draining it. Also, just to show you where the oil filter is, you can kind of see it from the top here. And let's see if I get a good angle. You can see the top of the oil filter there. When we get underneath, I'll give you a better look. There it is in the corner, you can see it. I'm gonna see if we can reach it from underneath, but we might have to do it from on top, so I might have to get a stool so I can reach over to get to it. Alright, before we go under the truck, I want to mention to you guys, if you're new to the channel and you like the video, please hit the subscribe button. I know we have a lot of people watching the videos and not subscribing, so if you're one of those guys, come on guys, subscribe. It helps us out and it helps us bring more content to the channel. Also, follow me on Instagram at Project Z Garage. I'm going to put a lot of stuff up on there. Some of the stuff we're working on that maybe you don't see in the videos. And also you can message us on there if you have any questions about what we're doing here. Alright guys, let's get under the truck and see what's going on. Alright guys, so once you get under the car or the truck, this is the oil pan right here. It's right in front of the sway bar. We're gonna put our socket and wrench on here, our ratchet, and we're gonna counterclockwise. I mean, these shouldn't be too tight. I know on most of the other cars that we have, there's like a crush washer. I'm not sure if this one has one or not, but be careful because the oil's just gonna splash out. So loosen it slowly until you can turn it with your hand. And we're going to move this a little bit this way. I mean, sometimes it's good to trying to see how you can see this well while I do it. Take my glove off to make it a little easier. Maybe I can reach on top. Alright, let's see if you guys can see that. But we're going to slowly take the bolt out because we don't want it to just splash out. And I like to put a little pressure holding it in, so when you get it all the way out, we can like ease it out. I mean, these trucks are supposed to have about 7 quarts. I believe it's 7 quarts that we need to put into it. But this drain plug is quite long. I didn't think it was going to be this long. Ooh, that's a good stream. Hey Al, can you give me a rag, please? So we're just gonna let this drain out. We did warm the car up a little bit so the oil would thin out and be a little easier for it to come out or drain from the engine. As you can see, it doesn't take very long for it to drain most of the oil out. Also, a good idea is to open the cap on top. Al, can you just make sure the cap's all the way open? But once you think you got most of the oil out, you clean up the sump nut and put a new washer on it. Alright guys, now that the oil is finished draining, we're going to take the sump nut and screw it back in. Always do this with your hand so you don't cross thread it, or else you're going to be replacing your whole oil pan in that case. So we're going to screw the sump nut back on. Take your rag and wipe around it. Make sure it's all clean. Then you can move your oil pan out of the way. Now you don't want to over tighten this, because all of this is going to do is just hold the oil. You just want it to kind of seal so the oil won't leak. So what I like to do is just shock, you know, put your hand very close to the head so you're not putting too much torque on it, and just, you know, tighten it till it's pretty snug. Don't go crazy. Now we'll take our rag and wipe it off. Make sure it's nice and clean. Yeah, after we add the oil, what we'll do is start the car up, let it run for a little bit, and then we're going to check and make sure there's no leaks here. If anything, you can give it a slight a little bit more of a tightness. We'll turn it a little bit more just to make sure it's tight. You really don't want to over tighten this, so be very careful. I think that pretty much does it there. Now we need to work on getting the oil filter off. That's going to be a little bit more of a headache. As you can see, that looks good. Now let's move on to the oil filter and removing that. First we're going to try to remove it from underneath here. See if I can get my hand up in there and get to it to loosen it. You can also use an oil filter removal tool. I believe if you can get it from the top, you'll probably be able to use it better. Alright guys, we're back in the front of the car, right after the radiator. There's a space you can get your hand up in here. I'm just going to shove the camera up so you can kind of see where the oil filter is sitting. It's right over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get our hand up in there. It's going to be a little difficult for me to video and do it at the same time. But the only problem here is that all this stuff is in the way, so it's hard to figure out where to put the oil pan to catch the oil that's going to come out of the oil filter. Might be a good idea. I know not all the trucks have this. On the FX4 package, this is a skid plate on the front of the motor. that helps protect the oil pan, the front diff, and some of the other parts of the motor here. So this might be a little messy. We might just try to get it out. We'll put the pan in the vicinity of where we think the oil's gonna come down, and worst case we're gonna have to spray it down with some engine degreaser and wash it out later if it makes a big mess. But let's see. All right guys, let's see if we can figure this out. I can get my arm up in here. Let's see where this oil's gonna run. Hey, look at that. It actually went through the hole there. Let's see if you can see that. Bring the camera a little closer. It's actually coming out of the hole that's cut out right here. That's crazy. I guess that's why they put that there. Oh, that was cool. Alright, let's see if we can get this off. Not too bad. That was less messier than I thought it was gonna be. Most of the oil just came through this hole right here. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Alright, so as you can see, most of the oil came out from the oil filter. If you look, if I pour this out, it's a good set inside the oil filter, so be careful with that. And now what we'll do is open up the new oil filter, and we'll put a little bit of oil around the rubber piece here so it seals properly, and then put that on, and then we can start filling oil into the motor. Okay, so we got the oil filter. This is a new one. We got some fresh oil. What we're gonna do is just take a little bit on our finger, and we're just going to put it around the seal. This will help it to seal properly and stop the rubber from getting marred up when you're tightening it. This way you'll get a good seal. Just needs a little bit of oil. You could either use some of the used oil, but I, put a little new one on there. Make sure it's nice and it's on all over it. And then we got to tighten it back onto the block, which will be a little difficult because it's a little bit of an angle. So I'm gonna try to do this hand tight. Let's get under the car. I mean, you can also pour a little bit of oil inside of it. Actually, let's do that first. Let's pour a little oil inside of it. I mean, it's a little bit sideways, but pour a little oil in it, just a little bit. But now we're gonna have to be really fast when we screw it on. Let it roll around in there. All right, let's see if we can get this to work. This might be kind of hard. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this on video, but you can see up there where it needs to go. It's a little bit of an angle. Let's see. I think I'm gonna have to do this off camera. Alright guys, so we've got the oil filter tightened up, we have the oil sump nut tightened up, so now we're going to start adding oil. We're probably going to do 6 quarts first, 6 3/4 3/4 quarts, and then we'll check the dipstick and see where we are on the level. Once we get close, we'll bring it down off the ramps so that the car is level. Give it a second to settle, a little while to settle, and then we'll fill it to the full mark from there. All right, guys. So Al's gonna start pouring in. So we're gonna put about 6 3/4, 6.5 in, and then start checking the level. We want to make sure, you don't want to overfill these engines. We want to make sure that it's right on the mark. So we're gonna get it up to about 6.5 or so. Check the level. Once the level is close to full, we'll start the car, let it idle for a little bit, bring it off the ramp so that it's level, and then once the car cools down, we'll check the level again and make sure it's good, and then we'll add a little if we need to. So we've added the oil. Now we're going to check the level. So let's take this out and check what the level is. Alright, so sometimes you get a false reading because you're grabbing the oil as you pull it up. If you see that's the case, turn it around and you should see a better idea of what the level is going to be. Right now it looks like it's okay, it's not too bad. It looks like we still need to add a little more. So what we'll do is we're going to start the car, let it idle for a little bit, and then we're going to take it off of the ramps and then let the car cool down. And that way it's on a level surface, and then we'll check the level again and make sure that it's where it needs to be. If we need to add a little bit more, it's always better to be able to add a little than to overfill it and then you have to drain it. One last check we'll do while it's up on the ramps while we start it. We're gonna go under and we're gonna check and see if there's any leaks. Alright guys, so we just started it up. Everything sounds pretty good. We're gonna just go underneath and make sure there's no leaks. So as you can see, it's dry, it looks good. We're dry there, and then we'll come over here and look at the oil filter. Make sure we don't see anything leaking there. Alright, that all looks good. Also, while you're under here, you can take a look at all your suspension, any bushings, make sure everything is good. There's no crazy leaks. At some point, I need to address that damn rattle of the exhaust. It's the clamp is making a noise. We need to either put a new clamp on or maybe even put a tack weld on it. Because every so often it'll catch a vibration and you hear this weird tinging noise from the exhaust. But pretty much that's the whole process to change the oil on a 2010 F150. The last thing to do is to reset the oil light inside the car, which I will show you in a little bit. Let's just finish cleaning up, get the truck off the ramps, and do the final check of the level of the oil, and then we'll go to that. Alright guys, so we let the car sit for a little bit, and this way it's on a level surface, or as level as possible. Now we pulled it out, and I don't know if you're going to be able to pick it up with the camera, but it's fractionally low. It's like right below the top part. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more oil just so it gets up to the full mark. We don't want to overfill it. Alright guys, let's see if you can get a better look. This thing is not focusing. There we go. So you can see where the cross hatch is, where the full mark would be. and we're right here. So we're a little bit below, so we're gonna put a little more in just so we'll get to that full mark, and then we should be pretty much good. And your oil change is done, other than resetting it in the car, which we're gonna do next. Guys, we're in the car. We're gonna do the reset on so that you can get rid of your oil light in the car when it says that it's time for an oil change. I almost forgot how to do it, so I had to do it once, so I'm gonna show you again. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your key and you're gonna turn it 2 clicks to the on position. You're not gonna start the car. So we're gonna do 1 and then 2. All right, now everything comes to life. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna press this reset button, the select / reset button, and you're gonna go through the options here. So you're gonna click on it, and then it says hold to reset for setup menu, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hold it till we get to the reset menu. And then if you look in there, it says oil life. Right now it says 76%. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hold this down, and it's gonna get set to 100%. So now we're good. You shouldn't get the light anymore in your car saying that it's time for an oil change or oil change due. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps up how to do an oil change from beginning to end on a 2010 F150 with the 5.4 3-valve V8 motor. I'm sure this could apply to the older models that also have the same motor. There might be a little bit different how to reset the oil light, but pretty much that's everything soup to nuts on how to do it. If you're new to the channel, or if you've been watching the channel for a long time, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it already. Also hit that bell on the top so you guys can be in the know when new videos come out. Also follow us on Instagram at Project Z Garage. We'll catch you in the next video, guys. Peace.